So you want to dive into your challenge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So the last challenge you did was,
The caffeine.
yeah, you did no caffeine for 40
Yeah,
days.
no caffeine for 40 some odd days.
And then what did you decide to do for this 40-day challenge?
So for this one, I kind of tried to double it up.
Okay.
Because I had mentioned on my first episode that I was like, I'd like to do some of the exercise ones, but it's middle of December or November in Michigan, and it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful, you can't tell, but it's 70 degrees and almost sunny outside today.
It's getting there.
So it's getting much more tolerable outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do 10,000 steps, and then I was like, well, hopefully I'll drop some weight with that. Well, I might as well log my food as well. I used to do that years ago.
Okay.
And it really helped, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I could, like, see how close I was to my limits and all this other stuff. So I will be doing the 10,000 steps and logging my food.
Sweet.
And then hopefully sprinkling in some weight loss in there.
Oh, cool. So what do you use? Do you have like a watch? How are you going to, or a phone to track your steps?
I have my phone. I have the Samsung Health app that tracks my steps. And then I have the MyFitnessPal app that you can log your food and all that stuff. And I've already put some of the recipes that I normally do from all of my regular meals in there.
Yeah.
And then I also have a smart scale.
Oh, cool.
That can like track your body fat percentage, all that kind of stuff. So I did that this morning.
Oh, sweet. Okay, perfect.
Because I listened to one of your previous episodes where you're like, no, you gotta do it in the morning after you take a dump. So I did it this morning after I took a dump.
Congratulations. Are you usually, I don't want to get too sidetracked, are you usually like a one dump a day kind of guy in the morning, or pretty regular?
Not regular.
Okay.
No.
Right.
It kind of just hits. I don't know if I have
Just kidding.
I don't know if I have IBS or what, but sometimes it just like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I still remember walking. I was on one of my first trips with my then future wife.
Okay.
And we were in Miami, and we were in like right on Miami Beach, and it's basically like a long peninsula. And we went out to breakfast at some place in the bottom of the peninsula, and our hotel was in the middle. And we were walking back. It was only like, 10 blocks. It's not a 15 minute walk. So halfway there, I was like, oh, I gotta stop. And we literally stopped at a Burger King that was like randomly.
Name a worse.
I know, yeah.
Place
maybe a 7-Eleven, Waffle House,
okay,
yeah.
Waffle
but
House, yeah.
and we had to stop there because I was like, nope.
A Florida Burger King, yeah.
I mean, sometimes, but yeah. So
you had a peninsula coming out there.
I was peninsulaing in my pants.
Torpedo.
But but yeah, it's not super regular. Probably 2 or 3 a day.
Okay, all right, yeah. That's I'm a 1+ kind of guy. Like,
yeah.
If I don't get it out in the morning, something's up. Usually after my cup of coffee, like clockwork.
So usually there's 2 rounds for me in the morning.
Okay, all right.
And that's why I usually wake up at least an hour before I have to leave anywhere.
Yeah. Now going we'll save the toilet humor for later. Let's stay focused. Stay focused, everybody. Wheels are coming off already.
Pineapple.
Pineapple. So with the 10,000 steps, are you planning on outdoor walks? Do you got anything set up for like if it's rainy outside?
Yeah. So during COVID, actually, Courtney bought a walking pad. And of course the maximum weight on it was slightly below what I actually am. So I haven't used it a whole lot. Because I didn't want to break a $200 piece of equipment, just because I'm fat. And
well, you're 6'5".
I mean, I am 6'5",
yeah.
But when I weighed in this morning, I was 213 or 313.
Okay,
213 would be great,
yeah.
But and I think the weight limit on it is like 280, 290.
Okay.
So I do have a walking pad in the house. Hopefully that won't need to be used for, a little while because I'd like some nice weather. But yeah, mostly outdoor walks. I'm sure my dog's going to love it because I'm sure I'll take her.
Yeah.
Because in my neck of the woods, basically around the block, is about 2,500 to 3,000 steps.
Okay.
So I do that, 2 or 3 times based on how much I walk during the rest of the day, and you should be good.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sweet. So you work from home, what, 3 days a week?
2.
2 days a week.
Mondays
okay.
and Fridays.
Mondays and Fridays you work from home, so no problem. In office days, you plan on doing it like before work or after work with the same route?
I was thinking about this, and I'll probably do it, after work. I don't like to work out in the morning. That's just not who I am. Physical activity in the morning, like, no.
That's the best.
I disagree.
Yeah. But I mean, I work in downtown Detroit, so it's like, I mean, there's not a lack of things to see. If I wanted to be like, okay, I'm going to go take a 10-minute break and walk around the building, because that'll be probably 1,000 steps. It's a pretty big building, but yeah. So I'll do that during work, and whatever I can't do during work, then I'll do probably after dinner, maybe before. Depends how much I ate for lunch that day.
Yeah.
Because exercising while you're uncomfortably full is not ideal.
Right. But maybe with logging food, you don't get too uncomfortably full. And then walking after eating is supposed to be super good, not just for the normal stuff, but for like eating and digestion. And
yeah, I'm not super familiar with it, but isn't it supposed to like boost your metabolism a little bit? Because you got the heart rate going and digestion helps and stuff. And
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
I am. And this sounds great. No, I'm just kidding. But for guys like us who work office jobs, we have to be pretty intentional with getting steps.
Yes.
Like my wife, Emily, she's a personal trainer. So she's up walking around at the gym. She'll come home, like having done no intentional workout. She'll be like, 9,000 steps already. It's just like, I have to go set aside time, like a half hour, go do this like 2-mile loop I have in the neighborhood, and just to get close to that. Like usually I have to do that plus maybe go do like a lap around my office or whatever. But yeah, it takes some intention. So that's why I asked just about like, do you have planned times? Because without those planned times, it's for office workers like us, it's not something that just like accidentally happens,
Yeah, and I kind of started this like a few days ago just so I could like know what I was doing. And like the other night, my dog was super restless, so I was like, let's take her for a walk around the block, just because I wanted to see how many steps it was. So like, there's definitely, it's not really like a time that needs to be dedicated, I think. But it's definitely a motivation thing, because sometimes I just feel like, sitting on the couch playing video games or watching TV with my wife or whatever. But my wife loves to walk too, so I know she'll probably come with me at some points, and I think it'll be a good thing, because I used to do it all the time, especially when I was sorry about that.
That's okay.
Especially when I was
answer?
working. No, I'm muting this thing.
That's one thing I've never done is taking a phone call live on the
on the pod.
Kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got a phone for 3 months.
That's true.
Yeah, and it was kind of weird, because I used to work in a restaurant, and before that I worked in a warehouse. So I was getting steps pretty routinely. And then I started an office job, 10 years ago. And I don't know the last time that I intentionally went above, 6,000 steps.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be a little bit of a learning curve.
Yeah. Now, if for whatever reason, inclement weather, not feeling well, you don't hit the 10,000 in a day, are you just going to like accept it, hit 10,000 the next day, or are you going to like double up the next day? And if say you only get 5,000, you're going to hit 15,000.
That's a good question. And I think I would probably feel bad that I didn't hit it. So I would probably, I don't know if I'd double it up, but 12, 13, 15,000 steps, maybe.
Yeah.
One thing I am slightly worried about, and I'll knock lightly on wood so it doesn't mess up the mics. I have gout.
Okay.
Which is an old man's disease, apparently.
Because I got a bad case of the gout.
Got a bad case of the gout.
Yeah.
And that basically will immobilize you.
Yeah.
For possibly days at a time.
Okay. Is it like a bacteria, like a fungus?
So no, it's a buildup of uric acid in your bloodstream.
Okay.
And uric acid, when it's in your bloodstream, they're little tiny crystals.
Huh.
And if you have too much of it, it will sometimes gather in your joints.
Okay.
Which will then make them like red, inflamed, super painful. Like it's gotten to the point where you can't even like sleep with blankets over your affected joints because that blanket weight is too much to bear.
Oh my god!
Like there's
I didn't know that.
I haven't had a flare in like a year and a half.
Congrats.
But that's rough to try and get through. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that streak continues and I'll be able to at least 40 days.
Yeah. So I thought gout was just a thing with the feet, but it's joints.
It can happen anywhere.
Okay.
I get it in my big toe joints, and
Okay.
it can be either foot.
Okay.
It's been either foot. It's been both feet at one time, which was awful.
Yeah.
But you can't really put any weight on it, so you can't really do much exercising. I mean, I could probably like get one of those like cycling machine things that they put under your desk.
Oh, with the feet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
And I could probably work with that, but
Uh-huh.
walking long distance is really out of the question.
Okay. So I guess that's a good segue to my next question, which is like on days. Well, I think if it's too painful and your gout flares up by chance, knock on wood, like you said, not going to happen. But there could be other circumstances that come up where it makes it like not just difficult to go on your walks and do 10,000 steps, but like makes it like you really don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
Are there certain things you have in place? Like if motivation is at like a 1 out of 10 and you really don't want to, anything that like mindset wise you plan on doing or to get you jacked up?
Yeah, I'm going to make my wife tell me to do it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I know yours.
Accountability buddy.
Yeah, I mean,
accountability buddy.
she's always supported me in every endeavor that I've done, which will include this one. She was going to support me on the first challenge too, but she was like, when I told her it was caffeine, she's like, never mind.
Not the next one.
Yeah, I'll get the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's been times when I like would randomly be like, hey, I want to do this in, over the next few days. And then like a day will go by and I haven't done it either because I'm dumb and I have the memory of a goldfish and it just goes away. But she'll be like, hey, weren't you going to do that thing? And I was like, oh, yeah, I was. So I'll have her be my pseudo motivation.
Oh, sweet. Cool. Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accountability buddy and just
Yeah.
awesome. So last time when we did the caffeine challenge, you celebrated the end of your 40 days by chugging a Monster. Do we have any celebratory? Are you just not going to move on day 41?
Yeah, get me an iron lung. I'm just going to sit in there.
Podcast from his bed.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do.
Yeah, I'll call in.
We'll bring the stuff to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but
Yeah.
we'll bring it to you. But yeah, I just thought it'd be fun. Like, I don't know if it's like being immobile. That wouldn't be fun.
No.
But like
that's
anything in mind with like the logging food or the steps?
I don't think so because I think the biggest like prize for me will be seeing that number on the scale go down. Because I know it's who I am as a person. I will put my head to something, do it really well for a certain amount of time, and then just completely fall off.
Yeah.
But if I have something physically that I can see that says, hey, you're doing really well with this, that is motivation enough. And I think seeing a number less than a number that starts with 3 on a scale
Yeah.
would be like the most wonderful prize.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, we're all rooting for you. Anybody listening, like there's something about progress that just gets you jacked up. So when you come back in, I'm very curious, not just with the numbers, because, health, I think, is not, we don't have to focus so much on the number on the scale, but like body fat percentage and like overall just energy levels and well-being. Like that's what I'm all about,
Yeah. And this smart scale that I have tells me like what my body fat percentage and all this other stuff is. And no, I don't want to subscribe. Thank you though.
Subscribe.
But those are what my numbers are.
Okay.
So I weighed in this morning at 313.8 with a 313. Hey.
By the way,
in the
side note,
313.
Jay Uso, he totally stole that from 8 Mile.
He absolutely did.
Yeah.
Yeet my ass.
Some of the best scenes in a movie. I love that.
Oh, yeah. It's
But yeah,
fantastic.
I have a story with that actually.
So
Yeah, save it.
I weighed in at 313.8 with a body fat percentage of like 37%.
Okay.
I'm like, that's excessive because I have apparently 186 pounds of muscle
Yeah.
and the rest of it is bone and or fat. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, if I can get that number down too, like that'd be
Balls.
great. And balls,
I
just
wonder what that falls under. I think muscle?
probably. I don't know because aren't those? I don't know.
Did you know our brains are like 80% fat?
Fat, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I heard
shit.
that
Just take
somewhere.
that out. I'll lose some body fat. All right,
Yeah.
noted.
There you go. She's like, working out your brain. 6-pack of my brain. I'm reading, man. Nah. Walking, fun fact. 10,000 steps. Burn an average of like 300 to 500 calories.
Yeah.
Like active calories. That's pretty incredible.
That's another one of the challenges.
Yeah. Burn 500 active calories.
So we can,
Yeah.
throw 4 challenges on there.
Yeah, there you go. Triple threat?
Yeah.
Brian's throwing out wrestling talk.
Yes, he is.
Wow. Fantastic.
Unintentionally, probably. But
Yeah. Yeah.
shh, it's wrestling talk.
But on the logging food, so I had this experience. So I log food and I also budget like in the Every Dollar app. I budget my money and I found them to be very similar. Like when you don't like for money for me, if I don't assign like what every dollar is going towards, it'll just kind of poof, it'll vanish and I'll end up with more month at the end of the money, as Dave Ramsey said. And then when I started logging my calories, I found a very similar feeling to where like I thought like logging calories would feel restricting, like I can't do, but it frees you up to like play around with it. Like if I want to, it does 2 things for me. It frees me up and it makes me realize that I can eat more than I thought I would, and I don't have to feel so like restricted or constrained. But it prevents on just like the mindless snacking.
Yes.
Like without budgeting my money, I'm gonna just go on Amazon and buy every cool thing I see, and as long as the number in my bank account when I log into the app is above 0, I'm good.
Right.
But yeah,
mentality.
you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. I've been there, But yeah, with budgeting, it's like budgeting food, like budgeting caloric intake. It's just had a tremendous impact. And with the MyFitnessPal app, I like that you mentioned the recipes. And what's another cool thing is even if I don't have many recipes saved, but I pretty much eat the same shit every day.
Right.
And I don't have to relog it in. It just automatically goes to like whatever day I'm on. If I swipe right, it automatically saves what I had the previous day before. So just like every day, okay, breakfast, lunch, my end of the night snack, those are all pretty much the same.
Right.
And then I vary a little bit with dinner. But
Yeah. And I think like like I said, I was trying this out the past few days because I haven't used it in years, so I wanted to get acclimated to it. But I meal prep my breakfasts, every couple of weeks, and I'll do breakfast burritos. And I was like, these can't be all that good for me. And I'm eating 1 or 2 of them a day. And I put the recipes in, and I was like, oh, I mean, they're 370 calories a piece, and I'm supposed to be allocating, 1,200 calories possibly for breakfast alone. Because I think it's saying to lose on average a pound a week is regular physical activity plus calorie intake for my personal body. It's different for everybody.
yeah,
Everybody. Like 2,900 calories.
okay.
Which I felt was really high.
Well,
but
6'5".
I'm 6'5", 313, so it kind of makes sense. Because I when I reloaded the app, and it was from years ago when I last did this, and it was I think 2,600, but I didn't weigh as much then.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But the hardest thing is the mindless snacking, like you said, because I'll eat a meal for breakfast, I'll eat a meal for lunch, and then I'll eat a meal for dinner. But I might, especially while I'm at work, because we get free snacks at work. And they've been stocking some of my favorites lately, which is really tempting.
Which ones?
I'm a sucker for the Chex Mix,
Okay.
the goldfish.
Goldfish are...
And then they started to stock those mini Slim Jims.
Okay. Oh, yeah, those meat sticks.
Yeah, the meat sticks. And then...
Oh, yeah.
And then Rice Krispie treats.
Holy
Like,
shit.
that's just rude.
Yeah.
And especially if they're there all day, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, grab one of them. And they're like 220 calories a pop.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you ate 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, well, I can't eat anything the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. So if I can mitigate my snacking at work, I think it will be a massive benefit.
Yeah.
Because I did it the other day. I didn't say, hey, Google, shut up. I did it the other day, and I had, 700 calories for my breakfast burritos. And then I had like 400 calories for my lunch. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to grab, a bag of Chex Mix. Mm-hmm. And it was like, sodium's off the charts, obviously. Yeah. And then that's, another 230, 240 calories just on that little tiny bag. Mm-hmm. And I usually eat 2 of those because that's what fills up the little disposable cups.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the cups? They're not the brown, like...
Not the brown trays anymore.
Trays, yeah.
They got rid of those. So I'll just use, a coffee cup. Uh-huh. And 2 of those bags fit in there. And that's almost 600 calories in that little tiny cup.
You're just working.
And you're mindlessly doing it because you're working. You don't know what else is going on. So you're like, okay, well... I'm going to mess with these people's credit and I'm going to eat some Chex Mix. Like, that's fine.
What do you think the best variety of Chex Mix is?
The best variety of Chex Mix?
The party mix.
The bold party blend?
The bold party blend, yes.
Black
that one and...
Cheddar.
I don't know if you've had the dessert Chex Mix.
I've had sweet and salty.
Not the sweet and the sweet and salty is really
That's
good.
probably mine.
Okay. But the turtle Chex Mix.
I've seen it, never tried it.
Holy crap.
What's in the turtle Chex?
It's little... so
little mini turtles.
It's
little Ninja Turtles.
Made of real turtles.
Raphael chopped up.
Yeah. So it's got little caramel Chex, little chocolate Chex, little tiny like M&M knockoff things.
Okay.
It's got these little like swirly graham cracker type things.
Okay.
And caramel corn.
Oh.
I'm like, exactly. And it's in like a gold bag. Okay. So good.
Does it have peanuts in it too?
That sounds awesome. Penis? Do they have
I
penis?
don't think it has any penis in it. I you know what? It's been a minute since I've had it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Look it up. See if you can find it. But
pull it up, Jamie.
But yeah, that's real good.
Yeah.
But luckily they don't stock those at work because I'd be in trouble.
Yeah. So 2 comments on just budgeting food. I guess you could say logging food. 1, snacking. I found there's a couple of different brands of popcorn that are perfect for like snacking and just very, very low caloric impact. That's by a brand called Lesser Evil. No affiliation, but Lesser Evil, they have like different flavors. And it's very minimally processed. They have, I think it's like a coconut oil they're popped in. You can get them at pretty much any store, like a Kroger or whatever. But yeah, for like 3 or 4 cups of them, it's like 100 calories. So like that I found is very good when I want that feeling of just snacking and not being limited. That's good. And then one huge impact I've found to reduce calories I don't know how much ground beef you eat, but I eat a shit ton. I found just by switching from like an 80-20, they do like 80% lean, 20% fat. Just by switching from 80-20 over to like a 93-7, like 93% lean, 7% fat, you can have like almost double the amount with the same amount of calories.
Here's a question though. How do you prepare your ground beef?
So it's kind of boring, but I literally just cook it in like a regular pan, throw some taco seasoning on it, and just like a taco bowl without the rest of the fun stuff.
The fun stuff.
I know it's not fun, but pretty much every day for lunch I have a pound of lean ground beef and an apple.
You eat a pound of ground beef for lunch?
Yeah.
Your size.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
I
know. But I eat.
That's probably what he's sweating out every morning in the sauna.
Oh, pet peeve: meat sweats.
Oh,
I don't ever get them. I just hate the idea of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't think of anything grosser than a fucking meat sweat. There's probably some grosser stuff.
I've experienced those.
Yeah. I just don't like the word. Like
no.
meat sweats.
No. I'm just like I'm fat. That's all.
Another one of those edibles you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, those is two words that don't go together. So you're going to come back in 40 days. We're going to talk about what you experienced, the number on the scale, the body fat percentage, the stuff on the scale. Was there anything else about the 10,000 steps and the logging food that you were hoping to talk about? I wanted to try to cover as much as I could. But...
Not really that I was looking to talk about. I'm just like, I like moving around.
Yeah.
I'm like during the summer and spring here in Michigan, I'm always antsy at the end of winter to get outside because I'm not a dad, but I have that whole like, I'm going to work on my lawn and I'm going to, you know, I'm going to put my New Balances and my jorts on and it's going to be great. Right. So I'm like, I'm currently itching to like go mess with my lawn and I'll do a bunch of like outside projects. Like I have a bunch of outside project stuff planned, but during that I don't really do cardio.
Okay.
So it's mostly just, I pick things up and I put them down. But just getting out there and kind of working that into the routine will be, I think, a nice little change.
Yeah, definitely. Yard work would definitely help with the steps. Like just